I was trying to do this on my computer and it's just not working. So I'm here. All right. So let me tell you a little bit about the background of Pamela. So Pamela came around like my character is Pamela because I would always tell people, oh, art therapists would say this, art therapists would say that, oh, art therapists would say this. And I had shit professors and I had like just shit like art therapists in the community come after me like repeatedly. How dare you say anything about art therapy? How dare you discourage people from art therapy? How dare you have a different experience and not a lovely experience like everyone else? And they'd be like, you need so much help. You need to. They were vapid and mean. And like, I called one of them a bully. And she has a little fucking army. And that little fucking army went back to her and said, oh, this person is saying that you're a bully, which is a legal definition. I could have said that she was an asshole, but I said bully. And I had already reported her to the American Art Therapy Association. She's a big art therapist, so they sided with her. She's actually a past president of the American Art Therapy Association. And she threatened me with a lawsuit and said that if I continued to call her a bully, even though she has the proof that she is not, that she would sue me for disparagement. Disparagement also includes a money aspect to it. So I guess she thinks that whatever I have is going to impact her career so badly that the books, the workshops, the counseling, like the legal counsel that she does, and consultations, the all of the other things I think she does teaching, all of that would go away and she would financially be ruined by me, who doesn't have that many followers, who is a small time art therapist, because she had an exchange with me one time and she is such a toxic person that she went nowhere with it. Like she had no intention of where she was coming from for that conversation. And like sometimes I wish a bitch would. Sometimes I wish I could just say her name and have everyone be like, and like she's like this all the time. This is not like I'm not like the only person who's had this happen. Other art therapists who are kind of more around my age, she's a little bit older, have had bad experiences with her. I have seen her comment absolute shit on other people's stuff, being like, you gave too many details, you're going to lose your license. This is where Pamela came from. All of the alarmists who always told us, especially coming into this field, you're going to lose your license, you're going to lose your license, you're going to lose your license. You know how hard it is to lose your license? You have to be so fucking inept at your job that like, it's not just that you go online and say something, it's not just that you have an opinion that may not be, like a close or whatever to like what other people or majority of people in the community in your colleagues believe. You have to be inept at your job, like inept, like bad, So like, she's not leaving. I'm waiting for her to retire, and then man, I'm going the fuck after her. I'm bringing up all those fucking emails, and I have videos that are saved of just me reading the interaction between me and her, because like she was such a little shit, and I am making sure that I don't call her a bully, just an asshole. So yeah, because that's an opinion. But I do know that if any of those people ever reached out, I can definitely like cite the actual part of ethics, all the ethics that say that you have to be like, kind of like at least nice to, and have some like decorum towards your, colleagues. Cause like, man, the shit that they try to pull. So the whole Pamela thing. So Pamela is that alarmist. She's a boomer. She's a wine grandma. And also she comes from the part of me that hates, so like whenever something happens, sometimes like I'll like lean into like how much I hate something. And so I always thought that I had to have like very flat hair and like, oh my gosh, my hair is not flat. It is frizzy and it's been frizzy and it's wavy. And I know that people are like, no, 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 but your hair's straight. No, 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 it's wavy. Like I know that it's wavy. Like, and I think you've seen it on different, if you watch my videos, you've seen it in different, styles. It's wavy. It's wavy hair. It's thin wavy hair. And I always had such frizz, all the frizz right here, and it embarrassed me all the time. I was always trying to be like, no, but it needs to be flatter. It needs to be flatter. It needs to be flatter. And had all sorts of things that I tried to come up with. And then there's just these people who do not care. And I'm just like, so you're saying I could have all this time, like the way that I create Pamela's hair is I take my hair and I turn it around and around and around and make sure that it's like that on top of my head. In case you ever want to do her hairstyle, you have the right. You can take over Pamela if you want, call her, something else. But I mean, like, it's fine. You can Pamela 2, Pamela B. But yeah, like, so like just have like there are so many like women who have like that gray hair and just that like kind of nest on top that like it just like I always found it just like, could you do something with your hair please? Because like I always try to keep my hair very very nice, as flat as it can be, and so just to like have someone who does not give a shit, who's probably had years of just being like, I don't know what to do with my hair, and like just the nest. That's where she came from, okay? She was supposed to have the very elegant voice, and I don't know, she came out with something else. The voice that I always use for art therapists who were correcting someone was, well, I'm an art therapist, and I think that you should not be calling that activity art therapy because that's not actually art therapy because you are not an art therapist. It was very like condescending. I think there was actually a different voice, but like it was like very similar to that. I like that Pamela just sounds like she's like just smoked all of her life. She's like, listen, I'm gonna tell you this once. Don't do that, and you have to be like, should I believe you? I don't think I should. You're saying it in a way that maybe I should, but I shouldn't. So yeah, she's a wine grandma. Okay, so this whole idea of if a lot of her clients are coming to her, sorry, one of my friends came to me and was like, Pamela's real, isn't she? And I was like, yes, she is. She is. So, so sorry. It's funny. It's just funny. So like I had the whole like, oh, a lot of people are coming to me and they're going through divorce and that must mean that maybe that's my sign that maybe I should get a divorce. Like that was actually said in my classroom. My classroom in grad school by another therapist who had a private practice was actually said. What she said was similar to, sometimes when you have a lot of clients who have the same issues, maybe that's a sign that you're going through that same issue. My problem with that is that that is a very egotistical, spiritual, abusive thing to say. So I go by the 4 agreements and Alberto Vialdo. 4 agreements, and I'm like, I'm hoping that I get them right. I'm always gonna like forget one, right? And then they have like the 5th agreement, which I haven't read. Oh yeah, be truthful with your words and your actions. It's very similar to the 4-way test of Rotary. Like I'm also in Rotary, so it's like I know that I confuse them because of that, because Rotary has a 4-way test. So truthful. Praise or blame is not personal. Don't make assumptions and mean what you say. I mean, I think that's truthful part 2, but I'm like, actually, let me look up the other one because I'm like, I don't feel like I have everything correct on that one. But those are the majority of the 4 agreements. And you can look them up. I know that like, Pinterest will have like their little fancy, like these are the four agreements. Um, and I'm like, okay, so we're gonna talk about the four agreements, right? Where's, oh, from the Toltec wisdom. I mean, that's, yeah. Yeah, be impeccable with your words. Don't take anything personal. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. Yeah. So, the nice things to live by. So when you and Alberto Vialdo, he was or he is, but like for his past, he when he decided to do his as he was going through his doctorate in psychology, I think through the University of LA or UCLA, one of the university. There's no University of LA. I'm sorry, UCLA or USC. One of those. He was in Southern California. He decided to take time off and went to Mexico to learn about spiritual things. So he has like the Four Winds Association, those type of things. This is all just background, just of me. I also love learning about all different cultures and their religions, and so like I do have like a somewhat functional understanding of a lot of things. Like, yeah, I'm like Christianity, except for Catholicism, because there's a lot of rituals in Catholicism that I wasn't in it. I don't know. And then I mostly understand Jewish culture, like, and religion. There's like a couple of things that I'm like I might need like a little bit of a refresher. Yeah, and I'm like I've had friends and clients of all different religions too, like Muslim, Baha'i, Jay, and like if you haven't heard of them, that's okay. So just know that I'm very white. Oh yeah, and the Sikhs. Oh my gosh, I know so many Sikhs. I went to school with so many Sikhs. So yes, I'm very very familiar actually. So there's that. Um, so in my spirituality, as I said, don't take anything personal. When you say something like people are coming to me and that must mean it's a sign for me, that's shit. That is shitty. Like, listen, again, I'm a spiritual person. I take my role as a healer as I'm a guide through someone's darkest period, and sometimes through the less dark periods, the dawn, like where there's a little bit of light, you haven't been there yet, but like I'm their guide. I'm like part of their journey. That's it. That I'm part of their journey. That's it. That's my role, as like I'm going to help you through this. I'm going to support you. I'm going to make sure that like you feel the best that you possibly can given the reality of your situation. Like I don't take that as a personal thing, because like I can't. I've worked with such a variety of people that like there's nothing other than them coming to me that they have in common. Like it's like a no, like there's no. And if something is like that triggered within me, either there's two options with that as a therapist. There's this thing called supervision. Now, supervision is clinically clinically directed. So let's say I have a client who's getting a divorce. I'm thinking about getting divorced, and then like they, we're like I go to supervision to talk about how difficult it is to, navigate that process with that person while I'm in a similar situation, and like the projection, the counter transference is bad, like then I have to make sure that I'm like doing everything that I can and seeing someone outside of that situation, the supervisor, who can help me through, like who can guide me through that. The other option would be therapy. I can go to, a therapist and be like, yeah, like this week I was triggered about that and it was so difficult. And, now I just don't know, and blah, 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 and like I can talk about like more, like it's less clinically directed and like less about how I can support my client and get information for that and more about support of my feelings. So hopefully that makes sense to all of you, that like there's a difference and like that's okay, and therapists, have to reflect enough and know themselves enough and not be arrogant shits enough to know what the right choice for them is. Um, so there's that. I also just think that, like, some background for that is that there was a long time where people would say things like that to other people. Oh, I knew there was a reason you came into my life. Well, maybe that reason was friendship. Maybe that reason was something else, you know? And I used to get hit on all the time, everywhere. The toll booth, got hit on there. Like, just straight out asked for my number and said he didn't like mind traveling to come see me. And I was like, if I don't agree to this, do I not get to go through the toll? What? Oh my God, what's going on? So all the time, waiting for my friend at the train station, which, like, if you know New London train station, it's a very tiny, tiny, tiny station. So it was like someone who was, I don't know, equally waiting for a train or waiting for the train to go by. I don't remember. It was so weird. It was so weird. But it was the one at the grocery store that got me. He like came up to me while I was in the produce section, like asking me questions, and then was like, I knew there was a reason that I needed to come to the grocery store today. And I was like, yeah, probably because you fucking needed milk. Like, not because you needed, like, how fucking abusive is that? And like, for a long time, I just didn't talk about my spirituality because I didn't want someone to turn around and be like, ew, spiritual bitch, first of all. Second of all, I didn't want people to continue to like take that and be spiritually abusive, because there are so many people who are very willing to do that. And like I have story after story of that where I'm just like, oh, I'm so sad for you that you don't know basic fucking science, like I just, ugh. Yeah, someone was saying that they were so very, very, very sickly every time they had, the EMF was really high. The whole entire world has an electric field, like there's like background. Yeah, so I mean, if you're that sickly, I don't know how you live, really, like especially in a city, like yeah, like I don't, like they were sitting with me in a city, like if it was the woods, I'd be like, oh yeah, you should probably go back to your house, like there's too much EMF around here. No. So yeah, so there's that. um the other part is just a little bonus for you. The other part is that don't make assumptions. I think that it is a very tough one to get over, because like everyone makes assumptions. Like I know every time my friend passes what is that called? Like an accident, she makes up a story. Oh, oh, they probably did this and they probably did that, and like I just kind of let them go, because like I don't need to get involved. But I don't do that. I'm very much about, what do I know? What have I heard? What do I know for sure? Because you can make up a story and it will be wrong. And it is a very difficult thing to stop doing. But once you stop doing that, it is great. Because then your brain isn't like convoluted with all of this stuff about like, well, this person said this and their eye went this, and it must have meant this because I think that person hates me. It's like, well, what do you know? What was actually said? And what was said and what was the behavior, or like, and what did you observe? Like what do you know? Because all of that other stuff, like, that's just projection on you, from you, sorry. It's projection from you to other people. So things like, oh, that person must have hated me. How do you know that? What possibly happened? The only issue that I keep running into this is that I keep asking clarifying questions and people get mad at me. And I'm like, I I just wanted to understand where you were coming from. And in a session, that's easy. Hey, just for clarification, is this what's going on? Is that my understanding? Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. That, because I'm not making assumptions. But like there's so many other things where people will make so many assumptions. And also, I've said before, and if you haven't watched other videos, that's fine, but I've said before, I do have family members who are toxic and who have personality disorders, and they love nothing but to create whole lies about their life. Things that it's like, I'm pretty sure that one of them did not go to high school. Almost positive that was a thing that had been a thing that was said. But let's say I suddenly got into like gymnastics or acrobatics. Oh my God, do you know how much they would be like, oh, I was the best. Oh, I used to do that. I was the best in high school. Oh my gosh, I was like professional. And it's like, you're saying that now. You have never brought this up before. I don't understand where it's coming from, and it's like, well, what do I know? I know what they've said in the past, that they did not go to high school. So how is this person saying that they were the best in high school if they said, if all of this time, many years, they've been saying, I don't, like, I never went to high school. So what, like when you were high school aged, or you can even get them to be like, what was the name of that school? Like, what competitions did you go into? And I'm pretty sure they're gonna backtrack. Oh, I don't know. I really wish that I could find that out. Yeah, well, what state was that in? I know that they've moved around a lot. Like, what do I know? What do I know? And I know what I had been told, and then how that doesn't, you know, translate into what they're saying currently. And just remember, toxic people really love to confuse you, control your emotions, and just basically lie about you to other people, lie to your face. They have no problem. They're just rewriting their stuff. That's them. So, I'm just like, okay, sure. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you were the best. I wish you still had your championship, trophies so that we can go over them. I'm so sorry that they've been probably lost with all of the times that you've moved. What are you gonna do? Challenge them? Get mad? Why? It's not personal. That's why my spirituality works. Anyway, I will talk with you soon, and I hope that was helpful. And thanks for liking and subscribing and all the good things. All right, have a good one. Bye.